Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and today we're here to celebrate the retirement list. For those of you who are on my email list, you know that I have sent out the email with all of the links. I put them up on Facebook, I put them on my website, and then everybody got carried away across the country and we crashed the Stampin' Up website. But I am under the impression that it is back up and running now, and hopefully that won't happen again. But that's what happens when everybody is so excited about the retirement list. So we're going to go ahead and just get right into this today, but I wanted you to be aware that Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and today I seem to do that every single time that I do this. I always forget one place that I didn't shut down the actual feed to my computer. So I think we're good to go now, but I want you to be aware that during this whole event, there is, I'm actually on my website, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on my Facebook page, and you are welcome to put comments into any of those places, and eventually I'll be able to find them. If you want to be into the live chat room where most of us are, you can click, if you're on my website, click on, there's a link right below the picture feed, with a link to where we are. And if you're on YouTube, there is also a link that you can click down in the description to get you to the right place. So I'm excited about today. I'm excited about the retirement list. There are a few things that I'm a little surprised about, but that's all right. We'll figure it out. So the first thing I'd like to know is I just need to know if people can hear me out there. And oh, yep, great. People are saying I'm coming through. So that's awesome. So let's get started. Let's see if I can get through my slides here. So the reason that we're here is for the retirement list. And it's kind of an exciting time in Stampin' Up! Land this time of year, with things moving out and then new things coming in. And so honestly, if you have any questions, feel free to post them and I will answer them as we go. If you've already seen the list, you may have some questions about some of the things that are retiring and what's going to happen. And if I can answer it, I will. If I know the answer, sometimes I don't always know the answer. Hey, Julie. Hey, Angelique. How are you? Glad you made it. I'm hoping that everybody can hear me. And I'm also hoping today that I got my slides a little bit better so that people will be able to see the video feed better. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. To begin with, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Oh, good, Cece's here. How are you? Feel free to ask at any time, anywhere that you are, and I will answer them throughout this event. And if I miss it, sometimes the feed goes too fast and it might get buried down in the feed and I might miss it. And if that's the case, just feel free to ask it again. Okay, well, we're just going to do a really quick video here on Stampin' Up! Video did Stampin' Up! A video that Stampin' Up! Did with retired product, and it's kind of cute. They have some great samples in here. So here we go. so there was just a quick video of some of the stuff that we're going to talk about today. And while that was playing, I did get a couple of questions. I'm glad to see there are more people here. Welcome, Cheryl. Glad that you made it. And Julie asked, how come some of the markers on the list, like the pumpkin pie, why are they getting rid of them? Okay, so some of the stuff that's on the retirement list, Stampin' Up! Sells their markers in a bundle. And then we have family packs, and then we had a few, the most popular colors were sold individually. And it looks to me as if they're taking that number of individual markers down, either down by numbers or they're not gonna have them at all. So that's why there's individual markers. I hope that makes sense. Kathleen, glad you made it. Hi, Don, how are you? And Adam, thanks for coming. Remember, if you have questions, feel free to ask away. So some of the stuff that Stampin' Up! Put up here, I just had to point out some stuff because there are some fabulous deals on this retirement list. And one of them is this, not all the Project Life, but some of the Project Life kits are on sale, and I think they're half price, which is unbelievable. This is Everyday Adventure, and the box with the cards in it, I believe is $7.98, and this one is like $4.98 or something. And then this stamp set is on sale too. All of these items here were used to make these cards here. And so when you're looking at Project Life, don't always look at it as only scrapbooking. It's great for scrapbooking, don't get me wrong, but it's also a lot of fun for card making and the other things that we do. So remember that, and remember that these right now, the Project Life is a screaming deal. I'm excited to see them go, only because I'm excited to see what they're bringing into the line, because that just means that there's new stuff coming. So I do have a couple of things I did want to show. One of the things they showed in the video, sorry, I'm trying to get back up on screen here. There we go. One of the things they showed in the video was a card set made, and that's the one that I showed you there. But they also did some stuff with the seasonal snapshot, and this is one of the things that I did this year with the seasonal snapshot. I just made some cards, and this is actually my display board. I'm going to pull these cards out because they're actually in clear envelopes so that I can pull them out and use them. But I was able to make a ton of seasonal cards with that Project Life kit. So that's one of the ways to use the kit. So I'm going to be checking here. I do have a few people saying good morning, and I actually have a few people saying good afternoon because we're across the world. And actually, I think some of my people over in Australia may just be getting up tomorrow. I think that's how it works. It's always a chore to figure out where everybody's coming from. So thanks for coming, and let's move on here. Anyway, these are some of my things that I just thought, okay, so these were some of the projects that Stampin' Up! Did, and these items too, these are fabulous. This paper got a gold sheen to it. It's gorgeous, and you can see the sequins in there. Oh, here, let me just fast forward through everything. Here we go. So it's this paper, which is another screaming deal. I think it's $6.95. And then the sequins, which are $2.98, which is awesome. And then this Hello Darling stamp set. Cute stuff. There's some cute stuff that they're moving out. A couple more projects that were in there were this card, and they used actually watercolor paper and the markers. So they just colored on it and then sprayed it with water, and it bled out. Sequins again, and this stamp set and the punch that coordinate, and that's kind of a fun little layering project. So those were some of the projects that were in that video. There are some more projects in there, and they're going to have a Pinterest board too, I believe, with some of the items. One of the big news events for this time around is Stampin' Up! Is retiring My Digital Studio, and it's very sad that it is happening. I understand why it is. I love My Digital Studio, and I use it a lot for lots of different things, but it's really hard to keep up with all between Apple, the Macs, and the PCs. It's hard to keep that updated and moving along. And what they found was, for the amount of money that they were putting into it, they weren't getting that money back. And so it was just one of those things where it was time to make a decision. And they did. And there's actually going to be a company that's going to come in and offer support for My Digital Studio. And you'll always have that. If you have it, My Digital Studio, you'll always have it. And you'll always have your downloads. So just go ahead and use it. I mean, there's no reason why you can't. So that is with My Digital Studio. Okay, so I do see a few more questions in here. Joy, glad you made it. Kay's here. Yay. Joyce made it. Jackie says she's no longer a demonstrator. You know, that's okay. I have people on that are demonstrators and some that aren't customers. I have customers who are demonstrators or were demonstrators. I have demonstrators who were customers. So that's awesome. Welcome. Let's see. Oh, these were some of my surprises. These were some real big surprises for me on the retirement list. And I have to tell you that this punch up here, this Blossom Punch, that was absolutely one of my favorite punches. Has been for a long time. And it's very popular with a YouTube video that I have. And I'm going to play that for you today. It's not the best video, but it just shows a really great way to use that. And it's going to be missed. Half price. I hear this punch is half price. This is another one that surprised me was the label punch here, the modern label punch. Crazy. But those things happened. My biggest surprise was Sticky Strip. I didn't expect to see that go. And that surprised me. And you can see a couple other things. Top note die, the heart framelits, the leaves. I've always loved that Biggs die. So just a few of my surprises. Hey, Cheryl, it's great that you made it. Thanks for coming. Okay, so this is the video. You're going through everything so quickly. Here's the video that I did with that punch. Like I said, it's not very good. It's me, Diane Dimich from DDStamps.com, and I am going to do just a real short video on how to make a paper flower. So what you're going to need is you're going to need any punch. I'm going to use this punch, and I actually punched out 5 of these, and then I sponged the edges. Just going around the edge with a little melon mambo. And then I came in and I'm going to punch another hole in the middle of this flower. And you could, you know, lay it down and find the exact middle of your flower, but that just isn't how I do things. So I'm just going to guess and put it in there right close to the middle, pretty darn close. So here are the 5 that I've done. And I've already sponged them, got them all ready. Oh, I forgot my scissors. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to come through here. One of them you're just going to leave flat. One of them you're just going to snip right in the middle. One of them you're going to cut out a petal. One of them you're going to cut out 2 petals. One of them you're going to cut in half. And then you're going to cut it again. Actually, you don't need to because you have 2 and 1 here. So basically it's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And once you've done that, then I take my bone folder and just curl my edges back. I like to use the tip of my bone folder and I curl all my edges back on every one. I probably should have done this before you were watching me. But that's all right. It'll show you how quick this flower goes together. Like I said, you do it to every layer. Even the 1 petal layer. And then once you have them all done, so once you have it, I like to use green glue for this. So you leave your 1 layer flat. You're going to add, take off the end, going to add a little glue to that, fold that over. Add a little glue to that petal, fold that over, add a little glue to this petal, fold it over, and obviously you do this to every set of petals. Gets a little harder as they get a little smaller. And then the last two, you just fold. You're gonna kind of fold in on each other. I'm gonna add a little glue. And bring it around. And then the very last one, you're just gonna totally roll around like that. And if you want, you can just add a little touch of glue there just to hold it together. Not really necessary, but that's how you do it. Then you're going to come in, and because you have those holes there, these flowers stack really nice and they lay flat. And you just stack in each layer like this. And to put that all together, I like to stack them and then bring in my hot glue mat, add a big blob of glue, take my stack of flowers, which aren't so nicely neat anymore, but just go ahead and restack them right into that glue. And really, there's no rhyme or reason, you just have to get them in there. And when that dries, you have a flower. So I'm going to let that sit for a minute. I'll show you a flower I did with earlier, sponging some of the new Coastal Cabana ink on it. And I just think they turned out really cute. And then I did one here using some new patterned paper and sponging, and then added some washi tape onto a container that used to carry brads. Made a cute little gift box. So there you have it. Okay, so there is my video on how to make that flower using the Blossom Petal Punch, which I'm telling you is 50% off right now. So if you don't own that one, honestly, I believe everybody should. Let's move through. I'm sorry, sometimes I get these slides, they get kind of moved around. So I'll get back to where I was. These are the stamp sets that's kind of surprised me. Not just because these are some of my absolute favorites. My go-to, see, there it goes again. My go-to stamp set for sympathy cards is this one. Always, it's been since it came out. This was one of those stamp sets that came out a few years ago that I absolutely love. Darn it. These two stamp sets here, I thought I had to have from last catalog. I don't know what it was about them, but obviously I love that kind of style. And I had to have them. And yesterday when I was looking at them, I think I used the little gift bag once, and this one wasn't even put together yet. So that happens to me too. But just a few of my favorites that are going away. I'm sure you have some of your favorites. Yeah, Angelique, I do love how easy that flower is to put together. You can make a lot of them in a very short amount of time, and it's just a fun way to use it. And Joni, the Modern Label Punch, it does surprise me because it's pretty classic. So this is that one that I told you came out a few years ago, and it was one of my favorites. So we are having a little throwback here on Tuesday. Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and I wanted to show you quickly what one of the projects that we did in my, or going to do in my club this month, and also in some of my workshops. And so everybody gets a packet like this with the envelope, and all the parts and pieces are already cut and ready to go. But let me just run through them so that you have the information that you need. This piece of chocolate chip cardstock is cut 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and it is scored at 3, so it folds like this. This piece of soft sky is cut 4 by 5 1/4. We have this piece here, which is a piece of chocolate chip cardstock. It's cut 3 by 6.5, and it's scored at 3 1/4, so it folds in half to make a tiny little card. We have 2 pieces of natural ivy cardstock, which are 2 3/4 by 3. And then we have 1 piece of designer series paper, Sweater Weather is the name of it, and it's 2 3/4 by 4. And one of the things I like to do with my designer series paper is cut them into 4-inch strips, because then I can get 3 4-inch strips out of a 12 by 12 sheet, and then I can chop them up to there. So anyway, it just makes my designer series paper go a little farther when I'm making cards. So let's get started. Okay, so to begin with, I'm just going to add my Soft Sky cardstock onto the base of my card here. And then my designer series paper is going to go on this side. This is really just some pretty straightforward stamping next. So that just makes the base of my card. And then I've got these pieces left to deal with. And one of them goes on the inside of this card and one of them goes on the outside. So we'll do the outside first. And I started with the Truly Grateful stamp set. This is what it looks like. I love this stamp set. This happens to be one of my new favorites for Thanksgiving. And as you can tell, that's what we're focusing this month on, is Thanksgiving. So we're going to use that stamp set. And I'm going to use a little crushed curry and ink up this great background stamp. And on this one, I stamp off because I don't want it to be as dark as that. And then I'm going to stamp it on. And it just gives a real subtle background. And that's kind of the look I was going for. And then I'm going to come in with the wheat. And I'm going to fully ink that up with crushed curry and stamp that down. Hopefully you can see that. And then I'm going to come in with the acorn and add one of those. And then the words Truly Grateful will go up here. And this is going to get taped on to this piece. And you might think I'm doing it wrong, but that's really exactly how I want it. And then the inside piece, I'm going to do the same thing with the background. Stamp off, stamp on. Just gives me a great subtle background. And then if I wanted to, I could stamp something in there, but this time I'm going to choose not to, because that's actually where I'm going to probably sign this card and maybe put a few words of my own in there. And so I'm going to add that on. And then what we're going to do is this is all going to get added into this card, and this is going to make it just a little fancier than normal. And by bringing this in, I just want that to be the focal point. And so it's just a fancy folded card where they open it this way, and then your sentiment is in there. I like the look of that. And then, of course, I stamped on the front of my envelope with that same background and a little acorn to bring the whole ensemble together. So there you have it. That was the end. I love that card. I love that style because it just makes it's kind of fun and adds just a little something to your homemade card. So Tanya, welcome. I'm surprised you made it. That's awesome. So that is these are just a couple of the stamp sets that I like. This is another little project that I did with the label punch that's on and the stamp set. And I'm just going to keep watching for questions and keep running through this tutorial, because then I got some other things to talk about. So if you have any questions, let me know. Hey Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and today I'm just going to show you a cute little box made with the Tag Topper Punch that Stampin' Up! Has in their Occasions mini catalog. And what I've done is I took a piece of, this is actually crisp cantaloupe cardstock. It's cut 2 by 6.5, and it's scored at 2 3/4 and 3 3/4. And then I'm going to slide this into my punch and actually punch both ends. And you'll see that when I cut my cardstock 2 inches, it slides right into that gutter, I guess you could call it, to slide it, and you just go straight up till you hit the end and then punch, and then you're going to get that great Tag Topper look. And then what you're going to do is, these are scored. On these pieces, I cut them 1.5 by 1.5, and then I scored a line at 1/4 of an inch on 3 sides, and then I just trimmed out those little corners, and I added some sticky strip. And this is what's going to put my box together. So I'm going to fold in those score lines, come back in with my piece that I've already done here. And of course, you know, with sticky strip, just make sure that you've burnished it pretty well. And then those little red strips of cards or paper will come right off. It's all about the burnishing. And maybe the fingernails. Oh, just kidding, I don't have any. I'll pull that off. And then I'm just going to place this piece right in between those score lines of my box. And bring this one up along so the edge is seamless. And then along the edge here. And you can see how this box is starting to take shape. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Sometimes these red things get so much static in them, I've got them everywhere. They're doing pretty good today coming off my hand. And then again, you're just going to slide that in there and square up your box. Do the same thing on this side. And this side. Just like that. You can begin to see how this box comes together. So next I took 2 little strips of just a designer series paper. This happens to be the celebration paper, and it has these great little banner looking things on it, so it's going to be a little birthday treat. But they're just 1 inch by 2 inches, and I'm going to adhere those right to the front of my box. And I think I'll adhere one to the back of my box too. Just adds a nice little decoration to your box. And then I'm going to come in with this great set called Label Love. What I said about those little pieces of red line. And then I'm using Basic Black on Pool Party. And I'm just going to stamp that down and then come in with a punch that matches with that stamp set. And I use my punches upside down so that they'll easily line up. I can see exactly where I'm punching. Punch that out. Attach this to the front of my box. And then I'll add some little candies or a stamp or something in there. And then I can just tie it off with a little Pool Party ribbon. So very quick, simple, cute little box using that Take Topper punch. Okay, so that was, there was a couple of things in there that are retiring that I didn't even realize that I had put this video in for that, but we'll talk about it a little bit. The scallop punch, the Tag Topper is not retiring. That will be in the next catalog. It was the stamp set and the label punch that I was actually kind of highlighting there, but also sticky strip, which, like I said, I'm kind of sad to see go, but we'll see what Stampin' Up offers us in the next catalog. But I actually plan to buy some because I have to have extra. And then if you look on the links, now there's a couple of links down below, a couple of orange tabs if you're on Facebook with me. One of them says a printable PDF of the retirement list. You can print those off and look at them. It's also on YouTube, and it's also on my website so that you have a printable list. And actually on my website at www.DDStamps.com, I did just post a list up there that's done by page number, because the list that I've got for you here is alphabetized, and sometimes it's easier to look at it through while you're flipping through your catalog. So page number. So if you go to my website, you'll find it there. But you'll notice that Basic Black and Basic Gray ink are retiring. And what's happening with that is Stampin' Up is coming out with 2 new Basic Black and Basic Gray inks that are archival and new and improved. So that's why they are retiring. Let's see, questions. Yeah, Julie, the Perfect Blend stamp set is on the retirement list. I was kind of surprised, but I hope they come out with another coffee one. I think it's a pretty popular stamp set. Anything to do with coffee. Coffee and chocolate. That's what we like. Joni, thank you for the compliment on the cute box. That's awesome. So if there's any questions, you'll also notice down there, Oh, that's not what I wanted. Sorry. I'm trying to get back to my slides here. So, see what the next slide is. Wow, that was quick. Okay, so there's also weekly deals this week that are fabulous. I can't believe that this is going to get overlooked this week. And it's it's new product from the Occasions mini catalog. And I just absolutely love this washi tape and paper and buttons. Those of you who ordered from my last workshop probably got a little packet of goodies using those supplies, and I hope that you use them. I'd love to see what you're making with some of those bundles that I'm sending out to you. You can just send me a picture. That'd be awesome. Or post it on my Facebook. Yes, Don, Lovely as a Tree made it. Yay. It has been the longest stamp set that we've had carried in the catalog. And when I did my little contest, those of you who entered the contest, I have to say that everybody thought that Lovely as a Tree was not going to retire, that it would continue to be in the catalog. So everybody was right on that. So that took out my, in case I had a tiebreaker, that took out my question for that because everybody had the same answer. But we did come up with a winner, and I'll be announcing that here before the end of this little presentation. So I have the retirement list in front of me. I haven't even looked at most of the big shot stuff that's going off on retirement stuff. I just didn't get a chance to really gather that information. I don't know if you know, but I was up in the middle of the night sending out the retirement list to people. And if you're on my personal Facebook page, you'll find out that I was trying to be quiet and keep the house kind of dark. I didn't have any lights on. I was trying not to disturb the dog, honestly. And I ended up on my way back to bed running into a wall at, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I thought that I was going to end up with a smashed nose, but I didn't. I'm glad I don't have like black and blue from my running into the wall. But don't walk through your house that night in the dark thinking that you know exactly where you are and where you're going. I ran smack into the wall. But the things I do for stampers. A couple other things that I noticed on the list were the kits. The kits are on the list. I have the samples that I've done back here. This kit over here is on the list at 50% off, this gray one. And it's fabulous. So you don't want to miss, look at some of that stuff that's 50% off because those are some great deals. And you can make some fun cards to send out to your families. Okay, let's see where we are. We did the weekly deals. I'm hoping by the time we get done with this that the Stampin' Up website is back up and running. Somebody just texted me and said, well, it's not yet. I want you to be aware of my April tutorial. For those of you who do decide to place an order in April, I send out tutorials each month. Anybody that places a $40 or more order or is a member of my virtual club and places an order. But this one is a great tutorial using the Flower Patch collection, which is not retiring, thankfully. I love this stamp set, so I'm glad that it's not retiring. I will send you the PDFs to make all these projects. Here's some of the cards up close and personal, but it's all the instructions and all the measurements and all the colors and everything I used to make those particular cards. So that's kind of fun. Nice little bonus. The winner of my little contest was Francie Merkich. I think I have that spelled right. I was having a hard time because the print is so tiny and I didn't get back on the website to check the spelling of your last name on something I could read, Francie. But Francie won the contest and she will get the free stamp set of her choice. Angelique was up in the middle of the night too, checking out the retirement list. Jean just joined the party, so sorry if this was already discussed. What's your take on the colors that are retiring? My take on the in colors that are retiring, we know that's, I knew it was going to happen. It happens every 2 years. So this year we lost Coastal Cabana. We're going to lose Coastal Cabana, Baked Brown Sugar, Crisp Cantaloupe. Help me along here, ladies and gentlemen. Coastal Cabana, Crisp Cantaloupe, Baked Brown Sugar, pistachio pudding, and strawberry slush. Okay, those are the in colors that are leaving at the end of this year. And They're beautiful, and I have a feeling that some of them may be back. I'm hoping Coastal Cabana eventually comes back into our line. I'd like to see that one, and I loved Crisp Cantaloupe. But we'll see. Oh, and I like to bake brown sugar too. Honestly, I love them all. But if I had my way, those three would not retire. And, you know, sometimes Stampin' Up! Does a color refresh and they bring them back. The other ones that were retiring were the gold and the silver ink pads, which, like I put a slide up, Jeannie, so that you can see it. Those were some of my surprises. I like those. And the black and the basic gray are being reconfigured to a better ink for archive purposes, for scrapbooking. But, I mean, you can be used too with stamping. So that's my take. I think those were the only ones that were retiring. I will tell you that it's my understanding at this point that the refill inks for the ink colors are gone. I don't know because I haven't been back on the website this morning since it crashed. So, you know, that's why I've been telling people for 2 months, please make sure that you have your re-inkers and the colors that you want in those ink colors, because once those are gone, they're gone. And I don't know, like I said, I haven't been back up on the website to see what actually is retired because we crashed it. So there you go. I know it's exciting for Francie, huh? Okay, so I am going to run a little special. And to begin with, I usually run these for 24 hours, but because we're having issues with the online website, I'm running this one for 48, and there's a reason for that. The reason is, so if you place an order with me in the next 48 hours, you will get a goodie bag from me. It comes in the mail. It usually takes about a week after you've placed your order, because I got to gather everybody's orders and then get the hostess stuff and then divide it out to everybody. That's what I'm going to use. So if you use the, you know, I'm going to ask you to use the hostess code. Now, there are several people that have already placed orders today. And if you want to be a part of this, please just send me an email at send me an email at Diane@DDStamps.com, or you can send me a message on Facebook. And just let me know that you want it, that order that you placed within the last 12 hours you want it to put on this hostess code. And I can do that. I can call Stampin' Up! And have that done. And then we'll make sure that you get in the goodie bag, that I'm going to send. That's how I keep track of whose part of the order is through that hostess code. And then I can split those orders up. If you plan to order more than $150 of product, don't use the hostess code. Just use your Stampin' Rewards and get your own Stampin' Rewards. So place your $150 order and you'll get $25 rewards from Stampin' Up! For placing that order. So do that. Or better yet, if your list is that long, I would recommend that you just sign up to be a demonstrator. It's $99. You get $125 worth of product. It's worth every penny. Right, Angelique? She'll say right. I know she will. Okay. Yes, Angelique, you will still get them. If you ordered anything that's on back order at this point, they are still coming. It's just taking a little bit more time than they thought, so you will get that. Terry Johns asked, do you have any idea why the in color ribbon from this year is on the list? I do not. They did the same thing last year. They had, remember the lace? They had kind of a lace frilly ribbon for the Coastal Cabana, Crisp Cantaloupe, those in colors, and they retired it and came out with the Baker's Twine. Now this year they have that great ribbon for our newest in colors, and it's retiring. So I'm assuming, Terry, that they're going to come out with probably another ribbon, some fun ribbon for that. Does that make sense? Hope so. Okay, so on the bottom there's so you got the hostess code, you got all the information. Anybody have any questions? I kind of feel like we went fast, but I only expected this to be about 45 minutes, and we are right on time. So if you have any questions, a couple of the things that I wanted you to be aware of. The butterfly Thinlits are available again. They're available to order. Stampin' Up! Has put, if you purchase the bundle of the Butterfly Basics and the Butterflies Thinlits together as a bundle, you'll get an item from Celebration, one of 3 items that were left. If you just ordered the Thinlits, they're 15% off, so they're $21.50, which is a great deal. But I have to show you this card that I got from one of my customers. Sent me this card. And it's so cute. It's using the butterfly Thinlit. And what she did is she used it and cut out cardstock in the Pool Party, Plum, Bermuda Bay, and I think it's Night of Navy. And then paper pieced it back in. So all of her cards used these same colors, but not necessarily, so, you know, she just switched them around. So you get a whole bunch of cards. But how cute is that? It's all inlaid. Inlaid is really popular right now, and it's really easy to do. I just made a couple cards this weekend using some of the balloon framelits, doing some inlay work. This is a little more intricate than what I did this weekend, but beautiful. So I just love that, and I thanked her for sending that to me. That was to celebrate the Thinlits coming back. So does anybody have any questions? I feel like did I talk really fast and go through that too quickly? I hope not. I haven't been able to swing over to my website to see if anybody has commented, and I haven't really been to YouTube either. But we are coming up to the part that everybody loves, and that's the door prize part. Oh, before I do that, you know what? I'm gonna pull up the website, and let's see if we can actually get into the store. Okay, so to get into the store, there's a link in the video and on YouTube, but once you're in the store, you're gonna click on store, and we'll see. I don't know, maybe we crashed it again, or maybe it just wasn't really ready to come back to life. Yeah, it looks like we're not getting in. So it's just crazy because there's so many people. There's so many people trying to get in there. So that's when I say things like they're only available while supplies last. That's how it is with the accessories. All of the embellishments and all the papers and all that stuff, that's only available while supplies last. So if you want something and you can't sit around today waiting for the website to be open, feel free to send me an email at diane@DDStamps.com, and I will sit here and get that order placed when they come up. And I'd love to be able to help you with that. Otherwise, if you just want to go in, don't forget to use the hostess code. And if you do, let me know, and we can get it added and make sure that you get credit for that. So we are going to do the door prize drawing, and this takes a little bit of time because you guys are a couple steps behind me in the video. So it's about 30-second delay. So I'll just kind of hang out and wait. I put on some music, but I can't have music into a YouTube video, or sometimes it won't play. Let's see. Oh, I have some questions. So I'm going to answer questions while you guys fill out your door prize slips. What do you have to spend each month as a demonstrator? Pam asked what a demonstrator, to remain a demonstrator, has to spend each month. And how it works, Pam, is there's a $300 quarterly minimum. So every quarter, a demonstrator has to either purchase or sell $300 worth of product to remain a demonstrator. Now remember, on that $300 worth of product, that you get a 20% discount. So really it's, well, 20% of 3 is $60. So you get it's $240 every 3 months to remain active. And it's not monthly. You could do it $100 a month. You could do it $150 every 2 months or every other month. You can do $300 in one big order. So there's lots of different ways to get there, but it's not really that hard to do, as we all know. So if you're interested, Pam, just let me know, and we can sit down and chat about it. Angelique, beautiful butterfly card. Can't wait for mine to come. Yeah, the butterfly Thinlits are awesome. And this card, I can't believe how much work she put into it. Although it would be very therapeutic just to sit and put all those little pieces in, kind of like puzzle. I think it'd be fun I've got a workshop here in town for the disabled, and I'd like to see them do some of these cards because I think they would love them. They love to put puzzles together. And I think that this would be really, really fun for them. Dawn, thank you. Thanks for coming. Tanya, that's why you ordered yesterday. Yep, you wanted to make sure you got what you needed. Okay, so now I have to figure out how I get to, yeah, it came up that the Stampin' Up site is not available at this point. So we'll just have to keep plugging away today. And did I tell you that tomorrow they're gonna, that's the other reason that I'm gonna hold off, because now not only do we have this regular retirement list, but we were just informed that tomorrow they are updating the clearance room, the clearance aisle thing. I know, so that like there wasn't enough going on, and now we have to deal with clearance items too, which I'm excited. I love clearance. I love the clearance rack. It's fun, and there's lots of fun stuff on there. Okay, so I pick a number. How I do this is I have everybody sign in to their, now I have to find it. Sorry, I usually have it up. I must have closed out this, I must have closed out my Google account before I went live, right before I went live. So anyway, I found it and we're good to go, and we still got a few people coming in. But what I do is I write down a number. When you guys fill out your spreadsheet or your door prize form, it goes into a spreadsheet, populates a spreadsheet for me so that I can pick a winner. And what I do is I write down that number before we get started, and then that person is the winner. And so it looks like, I think it's slowed down now. I think most everybody's got their door prize slip in. And the winner this week is Teresa Scully. Teresa Scully, if you are on still, which I hope you are, you just need to send me either your email address or message me on Facebook or send me an email, and I need your address so I can send out the prize. And the prize is one of the, there's a couple of items that I left them across the room, but sorry, I don't know what I was thinking, but it's the paper piercing mat. I had a brand new one, and some of the in color twine and buttons from Celebration is those in colors, like the Blackberry Bliss, the ones coming up, they're really cute, Baker's twine. So if you want to go ahead, Teresa, and get a hold of me either through email or on Facebook, I will get those sent out to you. And let's look around and see if there's any more questions, because we're getting close to being done. So if you have a question, now would be the time to ask it. And if I missed it, I'm going to stick around just a few minutes to go around and try to catch up on all the various places so that I don't miss anybody's questions. If I purchase way over 300 a quarter, does it carry to the next quarter? No, it doesn't, Angelique. It doesn't carry over. So if you purchase $300, you're good though, because you had like 6 months. Your first quarter, you don't have to buy anything, but you can. So don't worry, you're good for another couple months. But we can talk about it. But yeah, it doesn't carry over. So it's $300 consistently over the year. Am I going to do a video on the inlay technique? Yes, I am. And I just haven't had the time yet to do that, but I will do a video on that. Yeah, clearance rack is tomorrow. That's when they're going to update that. Like we didn't have enough going on. Let's bring on the clearance rack. Thanks everybody for coming. Cheryl, I'm glad that you love the broadcasts. They're fun and they're easy to do. And actually, I think I might even have a better connection during the day than I do in the evenings. So we'll see. I'm trying to do them twice a month, and I would. That's what I really want to do. So we'll see. We'll keep working at it. If nobody has any more questions, then I'm going to say goodbye. And hopefully, if you have any troubles getting into the Stampin' Up website, let me know. And I will certainly do what I can. And like I said, if you want to place your order through me, then just send me an email and we can talk on the phone we'll wait for the website to come back up. And hopefully we won't crash it again. That usually happens, so it's happened before. So anyway, thanks everybody, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.